ॐ सहनाववतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to you all. We are deliberating on the verses from the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We had seen and discussed about the verse number until verse number 7. So here the topic and focus is on the idea of how do you die? What is possible to do in those last moments, last hour, and how it is to be attained. And we have discussed this idea how Hindus especially see death as very important factor, and to facilitate the best way possible is the focus and whole preparation. People live their life keeping that in mind. So it is high on their priority. And I explained that also. So why death is being considered so important? Because death is important because of the Punarjanma. That's why death is important. So it is like I gave an example, new posting. So that new posting is important because how much you achieve in your life, much depends upon the posting itself. That's why posting is very important. Where you are born, who would be your mother, father, who would be your neighbors, who would be your relatives, who would be your friends, teachers, companion, etc. So that's why Hindus give great importance to death. And that's why Sri Krishna is also discussing these issues one by one. So earlier he has gave a straightforward advice. But as you see, he had earlier also referred to the prevalent ideas prevalent at that time, during their time of the Krishna and Arjuna. So we see Sri Krishna referring to such ideas. So see, these are kinds of opinions. So that means he is referring to the prevalent ideas. We will also see in this chapter and again later. So seems that when Sri Krishna says to Arjuna that Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhya मय्यर्पित मनोबुद्धि मामेव एष्यसि असंशयः, कि तुम मेरा ही चिंतन करो सब समय, सर्वेषु कालेषु मेरा ही अनुस्मरण करके युद्ध करो, और मुझे ही मन बुद्धि अर्पित करके तुम ये सब करोगे तो मुझे ही प्राप्त होगे, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं. Looks like that it didn't impress Arjuna much. So it happens with Ishwar Avatar also. Remember that. There are stories in Sri Ramakrishna's life also. I told you I do not remember whether, but sometime I must have told you the story of Yogen Maharaj and Sri Ramakrishna. So Yogen Maharaj was born of a very aristocratic family in Dakshineshwar itself. They were Rai Chaudhuris. So, and aristocrat people, somehow that was the turn of our society and their outlook about things. So priests were considered, and therefore most of the Brahmin, so like lowly fellows. So for some, especially priest, if he does not have some jamidari, some lordship over some land, then is a worthless fellow. Only for stomach full of food, these people do all sorts of nonsense. That kind of attitude. Okay, beggarly fellows, because they earn alms and all kinds of deriding epithets used for them. Now he is also born, so naturally he is influenced by such kind of ideas, so there is no problem. So what is happening? So, and though now it is much time he had been living with Sri Ramakrishna, and he saw Sri Ramakrishna's pure character, his extraordinary renunciation, his control of mind, his power of mind, and his spiritual power, everything sort of he had experienced. But still, so he sees somehow that clouds his judgment and understanding by his upbringing and seeing Sri Ramakrishna like going about. Now how that first story of Sri Ramakrishna is also very poignant about their long association. So he comes one day, Yogen, and there he sees some gardener working in that beautiful garden. So nice roses are blossomed there, and he like his aristocrat. He just hey, ek phul dena to, something like that. So, and that person humbly gave the flower to him. And then he went to see that who is that Paramahansa they all speak about. And he sees the same fellow sitting on the couch in the garden. So he never once said that, do you know who I am or something like that. He very much referred to him as a gardener, and he acted like that. He responded to him and gave him the flower. That's all. He didn't try to convey him that probably he is mistaken, I am not the gardener or something like that. He didn't say. He didn't utter. In any way, he didn't show that I am not the Mali of this place. He didn't say, or I am the priest, or my name is this one. He didn't try to introduce or anything. Didn't try to impress. Now he sees his guru as guileless and as simple. So he is thinking, though he is spiritually very advanced. Now what is happening? So, but he does not know much. So this is a better version of it. He is a great soul. He is a God realized soul. He is really belong to very high cadre. of spiritual luminaries, but he doesn't himself know much. Lot of tactics and lot of complicated thoughts, ideas, and that tantra vidya, so many things. He does not have that. You know, yoga vidya, etc. So many things. He does not have that because he is simple fellow. So what happened? So in that Dakshineshwar, it was the tradition of those times. So big landlords, and they used to have these kinds of places of worship dedicated to their deities, and these places, they used to be shelter for the wandering monks. So all the time sadhus are coming, they are provided food from there, and they are happily staying there as long as they want, 3 days, 4 days, 7 days, few months, no problem. All right. So there came one sadhu, and he found that this young boy Yogin is coming, and he's conversing with him, and then Yogin is asking this question, that how to control this primordial urge, this lust. How do I control? And he's telling him a lot of so many things. So this is like that, that is like that, and this is how this vidya, this yoga, and this pranayam, and so many things. Okay, he's telling, and he said, my guru knows nothing. this fellow is talking about so many things, and immediately Sri Ramakrishna understood that what is going on. He explicitly told him that you do not have to do anything into that. Go into that. You do not have to fall prey for that. You just do Harinam, and that will free you of your lust or this challenge what you feel within you. It will free you, it will set you free. So it is not small stuff. It is not small thing. He is making big promise. It is of the highest of the rewards. It is not small thing. So you will become free of kama mukta, kama jita, and he is saying that you just do Harinam. He thought, so anyway, because he is Guru, so it didn't happen much that he didn't follow that, and he went on doing as a mantra and japa is told by Sri Ramakrishna. And one day he realized that when he was sitting under one bale tree probably, and his mind absorbed like anything, and he attained samadhi. So samadhi especially, it is important, and everybody is looking for it, spiritual aspirants, because it marks the position that you attain the state. And attaining this state means, Sri Ramakrishna, while for example talking about these things like these 7 chakras, right from the 3 basal one, Mula, starting from Muladhara, he said, unless that Kundalini comes to this Anahata chakra, you do not see anything. So here you see Jyoti, the chakra here, that is called as Anahata, the 4th chakra. Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, and then Anahata chakra. And he says, Jyoti Darshan, Roop Darshan, that starts happening. Roop Darshan, he says, it happens in this, when it rises to Kantha chakra. After this position, there is a Kantha chakra. So Vishuddha chakra, and then, so what he is saying, but even Kundalini rises up to this point. Now there are only 2 chakras left. Alright. He says, even until this point, your Kundalini, you are not safe and out of the woods. You can still be totally fall, deteriorate, and degenerated completely. So it is very dangerous. So your safety is not guaranteed till you do not cross and reach the Ajna Chakra where you experience the Samadhi. That's why Samadhi is considered very important. So that's why once Samadhi is attained, then that fellow is fairly sure that this now it will protect him. He has earned that diplomatic immunity. That he will be protected. He will not be damned, even if he go wrong. So that's why Samadhi is extremely important. And that is not a cheap thing. It is not a small thing anybody is saying, and because that individual, so how Samadhi in that matter is different, but here the story is therefore he attains that Samadhi and that deep absorption, and when his mind climbs down, he is weeping with this joy, that tears are rolling down, and he opens his eyes. He sees Sri Ramakrishna standing in front of him, and he is saying that you have got no. So are you settled now? Have you got have you got it now? That kind of thing. So even Ishvara Avatara faces such kind of conundrum. So Arjuna may not be impressed by Krishna's words. It is very much possible. And that's why when Krishna is now referring to these ideas, what we are going to see from verses number 8 to 13, we will take them as far as possible in one class. They are very high ideas and hardly practical for us. Unless you are very exalted spiritual individual who is, walking in those spheres bordering Samadhi, then only this is relevant to you. Okay, so these ideas, nonetheless, Sri Krishna says that how to attend to God, and because that was his primary questions in the beginning of this chapter, Adhiyajna, he says his exactly word, Katham kotra dehesmin madhusudana, Adhiyajna Katham kotra dehes. In this body, how to do that? So then this 8th verse can also be considered supplementary to this 7th verse. So when he is saying that constantly remember me, so how you are going to do? Then this is by constantly practicing it. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya-gamina. Chetasa, that is Chetana, your consciousness, your awareness. Nanya-gamina is the word na anya-gamina. So because Chetasa, here it is in Strilinga. So that's why this word is Nanya-gamina. Nanya-gamin is the Pratipad. And no anya-gami means it's going nowhere. Gama is gamanam. Okay. So it is not going anywhere. So that means it is focused, one-pointed, steadied. And Abhyasa yoga yuktena, by constant practice, this the yoga which is refined and in which you are established, and thus this chetasa, this chetana, this awareness developed, which is steadied at one point. And what you will do? Then paramam purusham divyam yati partha anuchintayan. So you remember that paramam purusham divyam, that divine purusha. Param, this word refers to, it means that it is not referring to something mortal or material. Param, this word will always denote That which is the ultimate? Ultimate is one thing only. So, ultimate I have seen worshipping Rama. Which Rama? Not any other Rama. Okay. The one who is my consciousness only, that Ram. Okay. So, Paramam Purusham Divyam. So, it is referring to this, again, this next of all the verses, they will refer to something within, not something outside. Okay. The consciousness within. So, remembering these or dwelling upon this, you will attain to that such Purusha. With the mind not moving towards anything else, made steadfast by the method of habitual meditation, and dwelling on the supreme resplendent Purusha, O son of Partha, one goes to him. So, now these ideas, several ideas, now if you see the 9th verse, it mostly refers to the ideas of the Jnanis. Why? You see the ideas, how, which words are used. Kavim. So, this is one adjective or the word referred to. Kavi means not poet. Here in Vedanta, when you see in Ramnam Sankirtan on Ekadashi day, Kavi Isham, he is Isha or ruler or even God for all Kavis, not meaning the poets, it meaning the Jnanis. He is always considered to be Jnani. Hanuman is considered as Jnani and Bhakta. So he is even God for all Jnanis, Kavisham. Okay. So Hanumanji is God for the knowledge seekers also, who want to be knowledge seeker. So Hanumanji, so Kavi is the Jnani. It here in the sense, here this, because this word is used for Atman, word omniscient meaning has to be taken. Jnani means not only knowledgeable by any, the knowledge itself here omniscient. That's why in that sense referring to Atman. Kavi, this word is referred as to the Atman, which knows everything because it is of the nature of the knowledge itself, nature of the essence of the knowledge itself. Chid Rupam Kavim Puranam, that is the oldest one because it is present before everything else, because it is not product of anything. Nobody has begetted it. That's why Puranam. Anushasitaram, that is ruler of everything. Anushasitaram, Shas Dhatu. So ruler of everything, ordaining order into everything. Because by its presence, everything flows, everything goes into order. Anushasitaram, Anu Aniyan Samaha. So minuter than the atom, meaning that minuter than the minutest thing, because it is immaterial. That's why these kinds of words are used. Minuter than the minutest thing means what? It is non-material. That is how they want to put it. Anusmaret yaha, the one who anusmaret, recollects or meditate like that in this way. Then sarvasya dhataram, dhata, like one who is a sustainer, or dhata or vidhata, one who ordains everything or by whose presence everything happens. Sarvasya dhataram, achintya rupam. So its rupam cannot be chintaniya, achintaniya. That's why achintya, meaning that it cannot be confined or conceived by our mind. You cannot conceive that idea of its rupam, what it is kind of, in your mind. Achintya rupam. That means referring that it is formless. Then Aditya Varnam, here it is a formless, and another said that it is of the Varnam or color of Aditya itself. You can say Surya or Devata. Okay, so Surya itself is not Devata, that goal itself is not the Devata. So Aditya Varnam, like that of self-resplendent, which does not borrow its light from somebody else, self-resplendent, and Tamasa Parastat, beyond the darkness or Tamas itself. So there is, or you can say it has no touch of Tamas, Rajas and Sattva. It is beyond Gunas. So this is the idea. So this is the nature of the God who is being conceived, and one who anusmaret yah, the one who meditated cha eva. With the yoga bala enjoined by the bhakti also. Bhaktya yukta yoga balena cha eva. With all this, what do you do with this yoga bala along with your bhakti, etc.? Now he says, Bhrur madhye pranam aveshya samyak, that you aveshya, that you gather your prana in between your eyebrows, your Ajna chakra here, Bhrur madhye pranam aveshya samyak. So he is saying that you do when you are passing away. Can we do this? You think of ourselves. So that's why I said this practice is relevant or keep meaning to the people who are living in those spheres, not of us, isn't it? तो मुझे अगर मैं किसी को बोलूं कि हाँ तो माता जी अभी तो आपका शरीर जाने वाला है, अभी यहाँ पे प्राण लेके आइए, बोले क्या बोल रहे हो? तो उनके कोई और दूसरे परिजन रहेंगे, महाराज जी आप निकले यहाँ से ऐसा बोलेंगे, है ना? तो ये विषय वस्तु हमारे लिए प्रैक्टिकल, रिलेवेंट और मीनिंगफुल होने के लिए तो हमको बहुत दूर जाना पड़ेगा. उसके पहले तो इट डज नॉट कीप any relevance for us. Nonetheless, the ideas we see what Bhagwan has referred and talked about. He had said simple thing कि मेरा स्मरण करो सब समय और युद्ध करो, अपना कर्तव्य करो, है कि नहीं? So he was not impressed. Then he said, then look, these are the theories around. So see, this is how you can do. If you do not like the simple way, then this is what you are supposed to do. Bhrur madhye pranam aveshya samyak. Samyak is comprehensively. You gather your prana in between your eyebrows. Pranam aveshya. With all this one, you are meditating like that, and you continue your meditation like that, and satam param purusham upayati divyam. Then that person reaches that divya purusha. You attain that. You reach that divya purusha. Meaning that this is how you pass away. Yad aksharam veda vido vadanti. Now we are looking at the 11th verse. Veda vido, the person who have known Vedas. And what they speak about this aksharam. What is that aksharam? Akshara parabrahma. What they speak about. And vishanti yatayaha vitaragaha. The yatis who are past of all desires. Ragaha, attachment. Raga in Sanskrit means, it is not rag in any other language, our colloquial language. There are generally these two words, raga and moha. In vernacular language, they have the very opposite meaning than the Sanskrit. मराठी मला खूप राग आला है, हाँ तो मुझे बहुत गुस्सा आया है कि नहीं? बंगाली में भी ऐसा मीनिंग यूज किया जाता है. हाँ, तो और भी बाकी सारे लैंग्वेज में अगर ये शब्द व्यवहार होता है, पर राग संस्कृत में मीन्स अटैचमेंट, अफेक्शन अबाउट समथिंग which is come out of this with pleasurable ideas. उसकी व्याख्या ही योग सूत्र में वैसी है, सुखानुशयी राग, कि जहां पे सुख प्राप्त होता है उसका अनुशायी ये राग है। जो पेनफुल है उसके प्रति तुमको राग नहीं होगा। ये राग जो है जहां से तुमको कहीं आनंद प्राप्त होता है, तो राग मुझे अपने परिजनों से हो सकता है, पत्नी, पुत्र, कन्या, विषय वस्तु, या फिर और कुछ भी, मेरी जमीन जायदाद है, और या फिर मेरा नाम है, मेरा कुछ और कुछ है, इन सब के विषय में मेरा कुछ अटैचमेंट हो सकता है। तो राग ऑलवेज हैव दिस कनोटेशन ऑफ अटैचमेंट। तो यति मतलब सन्यासी जिन्होंने त्याग किया है, तो उन लोगों को यति कहा गया है। तो ये यति जिन लोगों, द पीपल हु हैव गॉन पास्ट ऑफ दिस ऑल अटैचमेंट्स, so they are very accomplished one. So sannyasis, where they enter means the what place they attain after accomplishing, living such a life, such a pure life, where they go, that place, and seeking something what some people practices this brahmacharya countenance, यद इच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यम चरंती. So what are these things? One, Veda Vidas who are speaking about this Akshara Parabrahman, where these sannyasis gone past their all desires and attachment, attend to or goes to, and seeking what? Some individuals practice the brahmacharyan, that padam, tatte padam. So padam is, you can say, that state or that position or some that I will sangrahena. So in brief, sangrahena pravakshe, I will tell you. So this is what he says. And again, now 11th verse we have seen, and now 12th and 13th verse. So again similar ideas of yoga and yoga practice, and they all refer to the same idea about the passing away. So what is being said? You listen. Sarva dvarani sayamya. Sarva dvarani means indriya dvarani. They are called as indriya dvara. So that's why when we say indriya for drushti, for sight, so when we this eye or eyeball is not referred as the indriya, but rather it is referred as the indriya dwara. So like your ear organ for hearing, sense organ for hearing, so this ear, this physical ear, is called as the indriya dwara, not the indriya itself. So indriya is itself within you somewhere, not this. This is the dwara. So sarva dvarani sayamya, being they are all disciplined and under control. Mano hrudi niruddhacha, that your mind is as if confined in your heart. Hrudi niruddha. So it's the natural tendency of the mind to go about one way or other. Sankalpa vikalpatmak manaha. So keeping it steady in your heart, confining it to your heart. Mano hrudi niruddhacha. Murdhya or murdhni, adhaya murdhni, this is called as the murdhni, or here above portion of your palate, that top roof. So from above that, it is called as the murdhni. So like in Sanskrit, how your alphabets, okay, they are taught. So like, so first there are swaras, okay, etc. Then there are vyanjanas. So they start with ka varga, cha varga, pa varga, ta varga, etc. So ka varga, ka, kha, ga. So ka, kha, this kha and gha. So here both time that it is called as their murdni, that extra air pressure has to come from their murdni, dha, ta, tha, da, dha. Dha must come from it. Ka, kha, ga, gha. It must come from there. Cha, cha, ja, jha must come from there. Unless it is touch, that sound will not come. So they are called as murdni. It comes from there. So referring to so that place itself is not. So the portion above it from this here onward, they are called as a murdni. So here murdni referring to your sahasrara chakra, the last chakra. He says मूर्धनि आधाय आत्मन प्राणम. अभी तक यही बोल रहे थे कि सब प्राण यहाँ पे लेके आओ. अभी बोल रहे हैं कि प्राण यहाँ पे लेके आओ. ठीक है. आधाय मतलब वहां पे रखो. आत्मन तुम्हारा अपना प्राण यहाँ पे रखो. ओम इटसेल्फ इज दैट ब्रह्मन. अक्षर शब्द का अर्थ हम वी कंसिडर इज दैट लाइक सिलेबल. Akshara itself in Sanskrit means kshara which cannot degrade or deteriorate or erode or what you say destroyed into. Kshara, there is no erosion of it. Okay, akshara, that is the meaning of akshara, which cannot be eroded further. So it will akshara, a syllable. Om. That Om itself is Brahman. Om iti aksharam Brahma vyaharan. By speaking, vyaharan, speaking Om, anusmaran, mam anusmaran, and remembering me. Vyaharan, Om iti aksharam Brahma vyaharan, speaking means loudly. Vyaharan, and mam remembering me. Ya prayati tyajan deham. One who leaves tyajan deham ya prayati. So this body reaches to the highest destination. He goes to the very high destination. Paramam gatim, he goes to the highest destination. This is again, he said, this is verse number 18 to 13. So these are the ways. We cannot say these, or rather they can be sick in the sense they are reserved or they are only meaningful for the very few who had long practice and they have by their Purva Janma and Prarabdha had been fortunate enough to have such gurus who trained under them at very early, didn't do probably anything else and earn that expertise. For example, Sri Ramakrishna's guru, who ordained Sri Ramakrishna, he was one of his uncle, mother's brother. At the age of 10, he was taken from his mother. And since then, he travelled with those monks, completely dedicated to such a life, living day and night with such ideas. His guru was also, he had attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and Totapuriji from that age, from the age of 10, by the age of 40, in 30 years, he attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the highest Samadhi. So while Kundalini comes here, it is called as the Savikalpa Samadhi, that is not the highest. So there is highest Samadhi, and ordinary people do not return from for some alms and for some shelter. He was not that kind of person. So these ideas, they are practical, they are relevant, they are not meaningless, futile. They can be somewhat in the sense for us because we are not up to the standard. But Bhagavan says these ideas and give a bit of brush up to Arjuna. So see, this is the other way around. So, and then again he falls down to very simpler idea again, like what is said in the 7th verse. He is repeating here somewhat same thing in the 14th verse. What does he say? Ananya cheta satatam yo mam smarati nityasha. The one who with devoted mind, ananya chetaha. Cheta, again here chetana or your chitta, ananya, which is not going or following or running after anything other, means only one thing. Only one thing means me. Yo mam smarati nishya, one who is constantly remembering me. Tasya aham sulabha, he says. So this is sulabha. Labha means प्राप्त करना, लाभ जिसको बोलते हैं, becoming easier to get something. Sulabha tasya, for such a person, I am very sulabha, I am very easy to get. Sulabha partha, he partha, nitya yuktasya yogina. This person is called as nitya yukta yogi, the one who is constantly remembering God with focused mind, ananya chetaha, who is not thinking of anything other. That's why bhakti is considered as very easy. Only one qualification is required, that your understanding of who you are worshipping, that he is not an ordinary person, he is the Sakshat Chaitanya Parabrahma. This understanding must be there. Only one condition is required, and then bhakti, it can go through. Look, one thing, that's why derivatives, without their derivation, but they are rather than empowering people, it limits them. What do I mean by that? So this idea, they will make perfect sense. They make sense to me when she says that. Okay. And open to embrace the truth, she would eventually discover that for different people, God, like mother, trains them differently. So initially there might be differences, but there are no different truths. Truths are not subject to our opinions and our beliefs. They are truths. We does not stand by our beliefs and our opinion. That is truth. Okay? It is not what you believe. So, Bhakti, as I earlier in the very beginning I have said, it is like applied science. It is like applied science. It is based on the pure science. Advaita is the thing which deals in pure science. But pure science in itself is commercially non-profitable. That's why there is applied science. Do you understand? In just a bicycle, because he has no money to pay for even the bus ride. And remaining one food or one lunch a day, he continued his research. Do you understand? My point is how pure science, it makes sense to very few. That's why when it is cooked properly and given, so Advaita is the foundation of everything. Bhakti does not stand without Advaita. Bhakti does not stand without Advaita. So Advaita is one thing. But now when you apply it, so it does not nullify or contradict Advaita. Nevertheless, never, ever. It cannot. So when somebody now, because I always refer to this 6th verse of the 4th chapter. Whenever you have confusion, always read that verse. That verse says, I always refer to that verse as, what is the idea of God of Hindus? That verse starts from Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swam adhisthaya sambhavami atma mayaya. Now from this 7th chapter onwards, the ideas from 7, 8, now this 8th chapter would be concluding with these again mysterious verses. 9th chapter again you will see these same ideas repeating. Sri Krishna is again coming back to same kinds of cautions in the 12th verse of the 7th chapter given. Again he will give now in 2 full-blown verses. Again same ideas he will come and clear. So when this Jnana Vijnana Yoga, and then here comes a Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga. Again he makes it clear. He says, I am everything but not this way. Again he will make it clear. So point is that, so in this 6th verse, into existence, Guna is there, but Rupa is not there. That's why Saguna Nirakar. Nirguna Nirakar, Saguna Nirakar. I am both like this. Still he say, Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya. Swam, मेरी प्रकृति, है ना, इसको अधिष्ठाय, presiding over it. What do I do? Prakritim swam adhisthaya sambhavami, I take birth. Atma mayaya, referring to Ishwar avatar, that is Saguna Sakar Ishwar. If you say, if you now, for a devotee, so devotee is not cut off from the jnana, or it is not antagonistic jnana. Bhagwan himself is using those words in the 7th. Tesham jnani nitya yukta eka bhaktir vishishyate. He said this. And if you can understand this, jnana is absorbed into bhakti, because it is the applied science. Absorbed, this jnana is absorbed. So he is absorbed and digested, and then all drama which is being played and portrayed, it is on the basis of that, by consuming this knowledge. Do you understand that? Swamiji also says, for the good of the world, for the eye does not care for the moksha. So, and such a person, if he or she or whosoever, but if that idea is formed of some narrow perspective, narrow idea, like mukti is the these ideas of the jnanis, and they are only And it is based on some kind of negativity, not understanding, absorbing of the knowledge itself, the jnana itself, then that person will have to wait. Present of a devotee who is very mature, that I do not care for the mukti. Sri Ramakrishna is singing such kinds of song. That is a very exalted state of bhakti, yes. But it is not this kind of thing if it is bigoted of some kind of narrow understanding, immature understanding. But you are nobody to go and correct them. You remember that. We are nobody to go and advise somebody that you are wrong. Swamiji said so. That is not our duty. Okay. So very nice. Because as I said, that God, like mother, He tends His children accordingly. He takes them to their destiny and let them grow, let them evolve in their natural course. So for some people, some ideas come first. For some people, it comes later. Okay. So as long as some person is sincere, honest to their belief, he or she should be respected. Okay. So until here we have seen verse number 14. If you, with the devoted mind, if you constantly remember me, that I am very easy to attend to, and these are the, if people are pure, and Bhagavan says here clearly that He takes birth for such people, for ordinary people, to show them the path. Swamiji wrote to Rakhal Maharaj that Swami Brahmananji, and he said in a very strongly worded letter that whether Sri Ramakrishna has taken this birth as human being, as an incarnated on this earth for you and me, he said this. Whether he has taken this incarnation for you and me, he says, all these people, that ignorant, who are downtrodden, and he goes and he includes prostitutes also. Somehow they had a very big heart, including Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother and Swami Vivekananda also. So he said to liberate them, he has now again do the work. Which one? एक अभी देखो गीता का एक श्लोक बोलते हैं, है ना? गीता की तो कहीं मतलब इतनी, और उपनिषदों की ऐसी वाणी है कि कठोर है कि तुमको अगर समझ जाए तो तुम सब प्रकृति के अधीन है, और क्या चाहिए तुम्हें पता? तो ऐसा नहीं है. सृष्टि में विविधता है तो विविधता रहेगी. हम सृष्ट है, सृष्ट और जो सृष्टि करता, तो जीव अद्वैत की दृष्टि से जहां पे तो ये भेद ही नहीं, फिर तुम और मैं एक है ये बोलने के लिए जगह ही नहीं रहती, क्योंकि तुम और मैं ही नहीं है, संभावना ही नहीं होना, वह अद्वैत है कि नहीं? जैसे तुमने मोम के पुतले बनाए, ठीक है कि ना, खिलौने बनाए, एक को राजा बनाया, एक को सिपाही बनाया, एक को घोड़ा बनाया, एक को हाथी बनाया. तुमने एक ही मोम से बनाया है, मोम में अद्वैत है, पर जब तक वो पुतलियां है उसमें भेद है. राजा राजा है, सिपाही सिपाही है. जब तक वो भेद रहेगा, जब तक वो खेल चलेगा, तब तक इसको मानना है। कैसी बात समझे? और श्री रामकृष्ण ने कहा है कि हाँ, अभी ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर ने ये शब्द कहे थे कि मनुष्य मनुष्य में क्या भेद है क्या? आप और मेरे में कुछ भेद है क्या? तो श्री रामकृष्ण ने उनको सीधा जवाब दिया था, तो आपके क्या सींग निकले है? मैं आपको देखने के लिए आया हूं। आप में विशेषत्व है, इसलिए तो मैं आया हूं। श्री रामकृष्ण ने बात बड़ी क्लियरली बात कई बार कही है कि ईश्वर तो सर्वत्र है, पर उसके शक्ति का प्रकाश सर्वत्र एक जैसा नहीं है। तो मनुष्य मनुष्य में भेद तुमको तो दिखने आते हैं, तुम्हारी थियरी किस काम की मुझे बताओ? जब तुमको भेद दिख रहा है, तुम्हारा ये बोलना कहां तक जाता है, कहां तक समाधान करता है कि नहीं? तो भेद है, ये सत्य है, इसको सत्य मानो, क्योंकि इस सत्य को तो नकार नहीं सकते तुम। जो और यही हमको पता चलता है कि नहीं भाई, मैं गलती से, मैं ईश्वर अवतार हूं, मैं खुद को मतलब ऐसा गलती से कुछ भी समझ के बैठा हूं, ऐसा होने का कोई चांस नहीं है ना, मैं नहीं हूं। तो ये विशेष व्यक्तियां है ही है। ये होते हुए भी मैं मनुष्य जैसा जन्म लेता हूं, तुम्हारे जैसा लेता है, तुम्हारे जैसा दिखता है, तुम हो नहीं। तुम्हारा जन्म हुआ है कर्म बंधन से, प्रारब्ध के जोर पर, तुम्हारी इच्छा से नहीं। वो अपनी इच्छा से जन्म लेता है। उसमें और मुझमें फर्क है ही है। तो हमारी कृपा से, हम अपने प्रयत्न से, इसलिए बहुत साधना करने के पश्चात, क्या आदमी जानता है, बहुत तपस्या कर ली तुमने, ठीक है कि नहीं? बहुत तपस किया, बहुत त्याग किया, बहुत कुछ कर लिया, ठीक है। उसके बाद मनुष्य यही जानता है कि तुम्हारे प्रयत्न शून्य है, कोई अर्थ नहीं है, और तब तुम मतलब अपना सब कुछ खो देते हो। तो इतना सब प्रयत्न क्यों करते हैं, पुरुषार्थ क्यों करते हैं? बोलते केवल ये ट्रू ह्यूमिलिटी आने के लिए, बस वही कारण। तुम अपने प्रयत्न से भगवान को नहीं पाते, ये विनय प्राप्त करने के लिए कि मैं तुच्छ हूं, मैं कुछ भी नहीं हूं, कि अभी आप मेरे को ऊपर कृपा कर दो। तुम्हारा हृदय शुद्ध करने के लिए तुम प्रयत्न करते हो, उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं। तुम अपने प्रयत्नों से भगवान को बांध के नहीं लेके आते। ठीक है कि? तो ईश्वर क्या, ईश्वर अवतार क्या, आत्मा क्या, ब्रह्म क्या, अद्वैत क्या? अभी एक जगह पे एक श्री रामकृष्ण के शिष्य थे स्वामी तुरानंद जी महाराज। तो बचपन से, अत्यंत बचपन से 12-13 मतलब उसके पहले से अपने यह तो अद्वैत की उपासना करते थे। तो श्री रामकृष्ण को सुनने आए, तो कम बोलते थे। तो श्री रामकृष्ण ऐसी कृपा की बात कर रहे हैं भक्त लोगों के सामने। तो ये तो योग वशिष्ठ वगैरह पढ़ रहे, तो बोले तो पुरुषार्थ, तो बिना पुरुषार्थ के तो कुछ संभव नहीं, क्योंकि योग वशिष्ठ की यही वाणी है। तो श्री रामकृष्ण ने एक शब्द कहा, बोले पुरुषार्थ तो भी वही देता है ना। तो एकदम से वो चुप हो गए, क्योंकि वो तो साधारण व्यक्ति नहीं थे, दूसरा व्यक्ति होता तो तर्क करता, ठीक है कि नहीं? तो एकदम से हरि महाराज चुप हो गए, कि जैसे उनको मतलब एक कोई सत्य उनके सामने धर उठा हो, प्रखर हुआ हो, कि हाँ ये बात सच है। नहीं तो सभी लोग प्रयत्न से सब कुछ पा जाते, क्यों प्रयत्न ही नहीं कर पाते? मुझे ये बताओ। चाहने पर भी, तुम्हारे उसमें तुम्हारी क्षमता होने पर भी, तुमको वैसा अवकाश प्राप्त होने पर भी, तुम में योग्यता पात्रता होने पर भी तुम नहीं कर पाते ना। दुख इस बात का है, तुम जो नहीं कर पाते वो तो अलग बात है, उसकी बात नहीं। जो तुम कर सकते हो वो भी तो तुम नहीं करते ना, तो क्यों नहीं करते बताओ? तो ये बातें केवल बौद्धिक चर्चा की नहीं है। तो इसमें जब तक अपना खून पसीना बहाओगे नहीं, तब तक इस धंधे की अकल आएगी नहीं। ऐसा है कि नहीं? यू हैव टू बी गेट रियली डर्टी इनटू इट, देन ओनली यू नो, है ना, आटे चने का तुमको भाव क्या है पता चलेगा। ठीक है कि नहीं? ऐसा है भाई। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम तत्सत। श्री रामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। और एक देखो सुंदर सी बात है, ईश्वर अवतार आते हैं, है ना, पर उनका काम कोई ऐसा है कि मतलब वो पूछते कि मेरे को आप इसमें मत मारो,